Hello, welcome to episode 5 of Live and Let Live. Today, I am in a new location. If you watch the video version of this, I am on package duty at my boyfriend's dad's house. So I'm watching for a package that needs a signature. It's like a expensive fishing thing. So yeah, I'm just sitting here facing the windows, and I really have to get some stuff done today. That is why we're recording here. So, I tried to record an episode last week, but I was just in a really negative headspace. I don't want to talk too much about it because that's the point when I just had to stop the video last week and scrap it. I found out a couple of weeks ago today that coworker, my old coworker, I didn't currently work with him, but we worked together for a couple of years, um, was found in his home, you know. He had a dog who I was really stressed out because I hadn't heard anything about if his dog was okay. We don't really know how long he was there before he was found, but I now know his dog is okay. And there was just a lot on my mind surrounding the situation. He was a really great person and a funny person, and that was such a formative time of my life when I worked there. It's been hard to grieve and kind of figure it out, and knowing that my family is grieving as well because he touched so many people's hearts and had such a connection with every single person he worked with that it's it's just really upsetting. And I tried to talk about it last week and I just wasn't ready to. So, yeah, I just decided to scrap it and give myself time until I felt ready to talk again. So, with that being said, I might be a little bit on the downside today, um, which is why I waited a little bit to film this because it was worse last week. I think we should get into what's been going on in my life other than that for the past couple of weeks. Okay, so my birthday dinner went really great. It was fancy and gorgeous, and the girl who was actually throwing it for her birthday, we just happened to have the same birthday, her friends were really nice, and I loved meeting them, and I wanted to get a chance to bond with them more because we were going to go out after. But we decided to Uber to the restaurant from a hotel, and then we were going to Uber to the bars so that we didn't have to worry about getting a car back. Well, we could not find an Uber. So we had an Uber, it canceled, and then it just was like on like a permanent load trying to find Ubers, and everyone else had already left at this point. So we were just like, you know what? I had this just like gut feeling for some reason of we should just go back to the hotel. This is our sign. If it was meant to happen, it would have happened. And maybe there was something bad that was going to happen if I went. Okay, this is just like my OCD talking, but I had a feeling that I would cause something bad to happen if I went because I felt like this was a sign and I needed to listen to it. So I decided to go back to the hotel. Everybody else ended up getting home safe. They had a great time. Um, I'm honestly really glad because I didn't have a hangover the next day. So that was fun. And we ended up just going back to the hotel, drinking a little bit more, playing trivia, and going to sleep a little after midnight. So it ended up being a good night. And I also felt like, maybe she needed her moment to shine. It was also her birthday, and pretty much everybody was there. There was a couple people I knew from work, but pretty much everyone who was there was her friends. So I was just like, you know what, maybe this is my sign that I'm just not meant to go, and that's okay. We had a really good dinner. I had a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed dressing up and going out and being with a big group of people. Our servers were super sweet. The food was super good, and we saved a bunch of money by not going to the bars. So I think for what it was good, and I should plan to hang out with people when it's not also my birthday, and, um, yeah, I think it happened how it was supposed to. After that, let's see, there's been just so much going on. Um, I joined my school paper. I've been trying to forever, but I think whatever's on our school website, like, for who to email, how to join groups is not up to date because I have tried to get in contact with people, and I commute to campus, so I don't honestly know very much about organizations or where they meet or things like that, and I could probably do a better job of finding it out, but a girl that I was in classes with last spring, I saw on her LinkedIn, which surprising amount of people use LinkedIn. I've been trying to update mine. I saw that she's an editor for the paper at our school. So I just texted her and asked her how I join, and they had a meeting that night. So that kind of felt like fate. So I went to the meeting. I picked an article to start on. I have a couple of weeks to finish it. So it's going to be my first article for them. And it might be absolute trash, but I'm going thank goodness they have editors who are going to give me feedback and they're all super nice. And I'm excited about being on the school paper at all. I also scheduled my classes for the spring. I'm taking a couple classes that I'm super excited about. I'm taking playwriting. I took script writing over the summer and that was super fun. And now I'm going to take playwriting. I'm taking video and film documentary, which I'm taking instead of news broadcasting. I could take either, but I think documentary sounds a little bit more interesting to me than news broadcasting. I honestly have no desire to be reading news on the camera. Maybe writing for them would be fun, but yeah, news broadcasting is not my preferred niche of media. I'd rather be like published in an online paper, maybe write for the Associated Press, write for the New York Times. And speaking of the New York Times, I am trying my hardest to get a portfolio together to apply for a communications internship this summer. I'd love to spend my summer in New York City. It would be expensive and it's extremely competitive to get an internship, but hey, I'm gonna shoot for the stars and hopefully something clicks and something works out for me. I have some backups, but that is my main one. I'm going to be writing the most detailed cover letter and really working on my portfolio to try to get. Maybe they'll see something in me. I don't know. But yeah, I also declared a minor because I feel like journalism alone isn't enough. I feel like I just needed to have something else on my diploma. So I took a general communications minor and I've already got 12 out of the 18 credit hours I need for my communications minor. I've basically been doing the minor this whole time anyway, with the amount of public relations and communications classes I've taken. So, yeah, I have a minor now in communications, which helps for my application for a communications intern. Because I genuinely do enjoy communications and it's kind of a complementary job to journalism. They work so hand in hand that I think it's so important to understand both sides of it. But yeah, that's just been my past couple of weeks. I found out that I made the dean's list in the spring. I completely missed the email that I got in June about that. So, yeah, I guess I was on the dean's list in the spring, and that's going to be on my diploma. There's going to be like something special on my diploma that I made the dean's list. Um, so just a lot of good things as well as bad. So I've just been trying to look at both. Like I said, my last episode, the cup is always half full and half empty. So I'm trying to see both. I think the delivery driver might be here. We're gonna take a pause. Okay, I'm really hoping that my mic was not muted in the last 15 minutes of me recording this. I'm hoping that I just hit that when I got up, but the delivery driver is not here. Someone just started their truck. Anyway, we are just going to continue. So I'm also hosting Thanksgiving on Thursday, which I'm excited about. I love when people come over and see all the like new decor I've put up because I'm the type of person who will leave a space completely empty until I have the piece I imagined for it. So one big development that we've made, we actually have my boyfriend's dad's neighbor, so they're next door to me right now. His neighbor is going to finish up our bookshelf bench. And let's see, I know I have a picture if you're watching the video version of this. He finished the shorter half of our bookshelf bench, and so all we have to do is stain it, wait for the other half, stain that, and then fill it up with my books and get some cushions and pillows, and my sunroom will be complete. This is what the first half looks like. That's in my sunroom where I usually record this. And eventually, that is where I'll be sitting to record this podcast. That has kind of been my goal. This is like a little bit more pushed up to the wall. So, yeah, I'm super excited about that. So, yeah, I've gotten a lot more hung up on my walls because it's the exact pieces that I had in mind for it. And I've decorated for Christmas. All of my Christmas decor is in the exact spots I want it. So tomorrow I'm going to be deep cleaning everything, mopping my floors, getting every crevice clean, getting every ounce of dog hair up. I have a husky, so the dog hair never ends. I'm gonna make snickerdoodles. I actually make really good snickerdoodles. I found like the perfect recipe in this baking book that my dad got me. So I'm gonna be doing the baking, and my boyfriend's gonna be doing deviled eggs. I'm stoked for that. Oh my gosh, how are we like 25 minutes into this and I haven't talked about Wicked? Wicked for Good? Are you kidding me? I think, okay, the grief that I've been trying to get through, and then the One Wonderful Night recordings of them singing all of the songs. When I heard Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande sing For Good, then Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth come out and sing like a new verse in the song, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And they say, oh my gosh, we may never meet again in this lifetime. I think I listened to it 12 times in a row the first time I saw that clip on YouTube. Then seeing it in theater, oh my gosh. It was immaculate, and I actually think it changed my life. I cannot stop listening to it. I think it actually has helped me in a weird way by forcing me to like confront my emotions. And I do not care what anyone says. I know why these women are crying in every interview. I would be crying in every interview, and this is like my first time ever seeing Wicked was the movies. I've since like, done my research about the Broadway musical, but I never saw it on Broadway. So I didn't understand the connection to it until I'm seeing them go through it. I'm seeing clips of them as young girls singing the songs and talking about it being their dream roles, and now they're getting to experience their dream roles. And not only is it their dream roles, it's extremely emotional roles where these girls get really close in the movies and then have to say goodbye to each other and go on different paths and just accept things for what they are. And I love it so much. I can't stop talking about it, and I cannot believe I waited this long to even bring it up. For Good changed my life. No Good Deed, I levitated. I levitated out of my seat. I think I'm still there. I think I'm still in that theater listening to No Good Deed. Also, Jonathan Bailey as a scarecrow. I don't know, okay? And I know he's not for the girls, but that's alright. Okay, moving on. Oh my gosh, Ethan Slater also kind of slayed that. He really killed that, and I didn't think that the Tin Man was such an angry person, but I kind of get it. And like, I was just kind of like, why'd you do that? I think I'd rather die than be like turned into a metal person with no heart. And Nessa sucks. So I think Wicked for Good and Wicked itself, everything about it, the One Wonderful Night versions of them singing live, everything is a 10 out of 10, and I understand why they were so obsessed with this. Like, I would be too. I think I'm gonna throw this out there now, even though I cannot sing, and I have absolutely no pull in Hollywood, but if they ever make a live action Hercules, I think my dream role is Meg. Oh, if I could sing for Meg. First of all, she has like a very deep voice, or like just like she sings very low. I don't think I have the skill set for that, but my dream performance would be I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules. Because that's so me. That is so me. I see myself in her, and I would love to be Meg in Hercules. I think I would cry the entire press tour for that too. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you think it's overhyped, get over yourself and go watch it. Sit yourself through the double feature and bring a pack of tissues and open your heart, because you're heartless if you don't like it. That's just my opinion. I think there's no other opinion than to love it. Okay, also, my other media topic this week, Dancing with the Stars finale is tonight, And I'm so torn between Robert and Alex. I love them both so much, and I think I'll be equally as happy if either of them win. I'm gonna vote for both of them and just leave it up to fate, I guess. I really love everybody else, but I just think my winners are Robert and Alex. Sorry. I don't care if that's like the most popular opinion. Definitely not a hot take, but that's just who my winners are. Yeah. I'm so excited to watch it. Actually, tonight, for my boyfriend and I's 3-year anniversary, which is Saturday, we are going to my work because we have igloos on our patio because we're a restaurant on the water. We rented an igloo and we're gonna go celebrate our anniversary tonight and put Dancing with the Stars on my phone and watch it together. He's been like so attentive with Dancing with the Stars that he's he's into it, which makes me feel good. And so we're gonna see what happens tonight. I'm super excited and nervous, and I'm sad that it's going to be over because I really look forward to it, and I just feel like a little bit of my joy is going to be taken. So, yeah, Dancing with the Stars finale. I think I'm going to just throw out my prediction. I think Robert's going to win just because I feel like the Irwin family has so much support, and Alex has, unfortunately, a lot of people who hate her, and I think it's a jealousy thing or I don't know what it is, but a lot of people have been saying really bad things about Alex, and I don't understand it. I don't feel that way. I feel like she's great, and overall, her performances have been more enjoyable to watch. Robert's great, but I think the only performances that blew me out of the water were his jives. But everything else felt kind of lackluster compared to Alex. Alex, I feel like, is so well rounded, and her performances, starting with her Maleficent performance. I mean, her first few weeks were great too, but the Maleficent performance really like took her to another level in my mind, and I think she just kills it every single time. I think the content she puts out around Dancing with the Stars is so entertaining. I love watching every minute of it, so I want Alex to win so bad, but I think it's going to be Robert. And I think my top songs of the week, already mentioned it, but For Good, specifically the One Wonderful Night version. I've listened to a lot of Lizzie McAlpine. I think Staying by Lizzie McAlpine, there's something like so addicting about the way she sings that, and I like singing along to that, so Staying by Lizzie McAlpine, and then let's see what else. I'll just say for the third one, I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules because I have been listening to that a lot, just preparing myself for the role that I'm so obviously going to get someday. So those are my 3 songs of the week. And I think we're going to get into an advice. Still struggling to find good advice to give. The FedEx is here. The package just got delivered and I signed. So my duties are complete. So where were we? Some advice. I have struggled sourcing people who need advice, and I feel like anytime I look it up, it's just like relationship advice. And I think if you're asking if you should leave somebody, you probably should. I think my advice for the week is more people should break up. It's not the end of the world to end a relationship, especially if it's not working for you. And coming up on my 3-year anniversary with my boyfriend in 4 days, I feel like I have a lot of advice to give in relationships because I've just had a lot of experience with long-term relationships. My first relationship was pretty long. This relationship is now almost 3 years. So, and those are also my only 2 relationships. I'm a serial monogamist, I guess. Um, so yeah, I think if you're questioning if you should break up with somebody, you probably should. You know, there's no shame in it. I think there's nothing wrong, and you're not a bad person for not wanting to be with somebody. I think a lot of the times that my relationship has come to the point of us mentioning it, it was kind of out of maybe a little bit of pettiness. And there are times when you're going to question it because there's not always like a clear path through things. But I think it always comes down to, is the bad outweighing the good for me? And the bad has never outweighed the good in my relationship. There's so much good in my relationship. We communicate very well and we're best friends. Like, we're seriously best friends. And I know that he gets me and I get him. And we're still coming to a place of learning how to communicate, especially when we're in a state of anger or something. It's hard. It's really hard, especially when you're around somebody so much that you feel comfortable enough just taking out every emotion on that person. But you have to think at the end of the day, like, this is also my best friend, and how would I want somebody talking to him or about him? I should never cross that line myself and talk to him that way, you know? I should always treat him with the respect and love that I know he deserves, and vice versa. I think setting expectations is extremely important. I remember one of my friends in high school told me her brother and his girlfriend were having issues, and she said something like so profound. I don't even think she realized how profound it was. They were fighting all of the time, and she's like, they just don't understand the expectations they have for the other person. They're on different pages of what they expect from each other, and that causes arguments. And ever since then I've set clear expectations. Okay, this is what I expect from my partner. And it's not controlling at all to say, this is what I need from you. It's actually very helpful because then somebody can tell you, okay, I can do that or I can't. And I think there's times where I've told people in my life, like, okay, I understand what you expect from me. I am not going to meet those expectations, unfortunately. So do with that what you will. But some expectations are too high, and some expectations are not reasonable. Like people expecting you to be somebody you're not or change something significant about who you are. That's not okay. I think, there's relationships where like a girl likes to go out with her friends and dress up, and the boyfriend meets her that way and likes her that way. And then they get together and he expects her to change and be a different person. And it's like, well, you knew who I was when you started dating me. I'm not going to be a different person now that we're together. And I think that's really weird. That's why I always preach, like, I made sure I truly loved the person my boyfriend is, his personality, his mannerisms, his habits. I loved them. And you're never going to love all of them. Like, you're never going to 100% be obsessed with every single thing about a person. But at his core, I really do love who he is. And I love the way that he treats me. I love the way that he thinks about me and prioritizes me. And I can literally just feel his love for me. Every single day when I get home, it's like a big event. He's so excited to see me and gives me attention, and I never feel like he's uninterested in me, like ever. He never makes me feel insecure or like he is not paying attention to me. Those are really big things. Yeah, I think, we're going to be working on little things forever because you change as a person and you need somebody to learn you as a person as you go through life. But overall, the good outweighs the bad, and the bad itself is not things that we are doing to each other. There's just things you go through in life, and times when you need your partner more and times when they need you more, and you have to adjust to each other constantly, and you have to learn how to say you're sorry and learn how to take accountability and be honest with them. So, yeah, I think it's not a bad thing to break up, and it's also not a bad thing to stay with somebody when the good outweighs the bad. If the bad outweighs the good and you know that you're on borrowed time, just go ahead and free yourself from that, because there is somebody else out there who will be your best friend and partner, and you will be much happier to go home to every single day. So, yeah, another big thing in relationships, I do not talk bad about my partner to anybody. I may rarely vent to a friend of mine about a situation, or just say, like, I'm feeling like this and I don't know how to move forward with it. But I never say, or I never encourage anybody to say anything bad about him, because that is not your place. He is still my best friend and the person I'm in love with. So I won't tolerate anybody disrespecting him, especially to me. I'm not going to disrespect him to anybody else. I think that sets such a bad precedent, and you're opening space for people to think badly of him. And it actually breaks my heart to think of anybody thinking badly of him. So, yeah, set boundaries in those areas of your life and prioritize your partner if they are also prioritizing you. If they're not and you're really questioning, like, is this my forever? I'm not really feeling it. Just break up and give yourself time to be alone. I promise being alone is not scary. It's not even that hard. It's actually like you have nobody who is expecting anything from you. You are able to do things unapologetically by yourself, and you're open to so many opportunities that it's actually a beautiful thing to be on your own. And more people, I think, should find that time when you're single as more precious, because life is not all about having a partner. Like, it is great to have a partner, I will say. You know, I'm speaking from the other side of the fence here. It's great to have a boyfriend and to go home to somebody and sleep next to somebody. But at the same time, when I didn't have that and I was alone, I wasn't miserable. I wasn't just waiting for somebody to fill that space in my life. I think what has made my relationship work so well is that we are two completely whole people on our own. I felt whole on my own. I didn't feel like I needed somebody to be my plus one to everything. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I just felt like, oh, I've met this person and I enjoy my time with him more than I enjoy my time alone. And until somebody is better than your time alone, they're not worth being with. Yeah, I'm excited to celebrate 3 years with my boyfriend. It has been so many good times, and I've learned so much about myself and about him, and to know how loved I am by another person really does push me to be a better version of myself, and I feel like I've accomplished so many of my dreams since we've been together just because I do have that stability. I feel like I've completely healed my anxious attachment style. I no longer feel so connected to what his emotions are in the current moment. I don't feel controlled by his emotions. I just feel secure and safe to think about other things. And that's really helped me focus on myself. And it's crazy to say that being with somebody helps me focus on myself. But I think a lot of us do get into like the spiral of like, the dating scene is stressful and you're like trying to vet people. You're trying to see what works with you. You're trying to figure out who you are. And now that I don't really have to worry about that or think about it, I think I am more focused on me. And I think that's why I come from a place of like, you know what, being alone is not that scary, because if I would have let myself stop thinking about, oh my gosh, like, what is my next relationship? Who is, like all of that, I think I would have been better off. I think Trisha Paytas makes a really good point when she says, like, her relationship now has allowed her to grow so much by herself because she was so concerned for so much of her life with the current guy she was seeing and how unstable it was and how anxiously attached she was to him, that that's the only thing she focused on. And then when you find a stable connection like she has now, you are you have so much more room in your thoughts to think about what you want, like what you legitimately want, not what this guy's thinking of you, not seeing yourself through a guy's eyes. And I think that's really important. But yeah, to wrap it up, we'll do a riddle. Okay. I think I skipped a riddle on my birthday episode, which is just becoming a pattern for me, but it was my birthday, so nobody can really fault me for that. This is my riddle for this week that I'm probably going to tell you the answer to, like 30 seconds after I say it. It says, I know a word, 6 letters it contains. Take away 1, and 12 is what remains. Okay, so I'll read it again. I know a word, 6 letters it contains. Take away 1, and 12 is what remains. I think this one is fun. I like a little rhyming. Okay, give you like 10 seconds. Okay, the answer is dozens. So dozens, you take away 1, and then you're left with dozen, which a dozen is 12. Which isn't dozen kind of a funny word? Like, oh, I'll take a dozen. But then every other number, you would just say the number. I don't know. It's interesting. Is there any other word that has or letter? Oh my gosh, am I stupid? Is there any other number that has a word like dozen? Or is it literally just 12. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all for this week. This has been very long-winded. So thank you for watching this episode 5. That is a week late. I hope everybody has a really good Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, eat a really good dinner and see some family, I guess, because that's really all it means to me. I don't really celebrate the meaning behind Thanksgiving, but if everyone's going to show up to my house with a bunch of food, I'm going to be excited. I never really know how to end this. I'm going to say take my poll down below in the Spotify. I always leave a poll in the comments, and check out the songs. I link them all in the Spotify episode. And I guess if you want to follow me on Instagram, I don't really post much because my posts will get because it shows you the views now on your Instagram, 800 views, 33 likes. And yes, I'm 24. I shouldn't concern myself with Instagram likes, but they're all still fake. You're fake. 812 views and only 33 people hit like. Crazy works. It's Olivia G. Arnold. Olivia G. Arnold. So it looks like it says Olivia Ag. That's kind of ugly. Olivia G. Arnold. If you want to follow my Instagram, I guess. I also have a TikTok for this podcast called Live and Let Live Pod. And I post on there sometimes. So yeah. That's the end of this episode. I need to go because I have class on Zoom right now. But I love you. Thank you for listening. And I hope you got something from this episode. If you'd like to leave a comment for advice on next week's episode, you'd be doing me a huge favor. Give me something unique. Give me something weird. I don't care. I'd like to interact with some people. So yeah, bye.